So a couple of weeks ago around New Year, I went to Iceland. There you go, there I am in Iceland. Look how enthusiastic I am. This trip really is completely owed to my incredibly kind and generous grandma, who is just a wonderful person, and I really appreciate her bringing us on this trip because it was really nice. Now, I have been to Iceland once before, back when I looked like this. That trip was in the summer, this one was in the winter, so it was a bit colder. It was pretty cold, but that of course didn't stop it from being absolutely beautiful. The breathtaking waterfalls and impressive volcanic mountains almost distracted me from the fact that I felt like my testicles were retracting inside of my body. On the first day, we visited some of Iceland's more touristy attractions, such as the Geyser or Geysir, I guess if you want to pronounce it correctly. On my previous visit to Iceland, this geyser had been very impressive. When it first exploded this time, however, it was kind of underwhelming. In disappointment, I had stopped recording, only for it to do two huge explosions immediately afterwards. I, of course, missed both of them. Because of this, I thought I'd wait around for another one, and thankfully, 9 minutes later, oh my god. It was even more underwhelming, but it was okay because there was plenty more throughout the day to get my spirits back up. This waterfall in particular, called Gullfoss, is famous because of the way the sun gives its mist kind of a golden shine, which looks really pretty, let's be honest. Later that night though, there was still more excitement in store. What's poppin' guys, it's Jude here, I'm in Iceland, I'm having a great time so far. So right now, hopefully we're going to get a chance to see the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights, as some of you might know them. Tonight's probably the best chance that we'll have, but we'll have to see. But I'm going to go and sit down on a bench for a couple of hours. Fingers crossed we see them, am I right guys? Okay, let's go. We then stood outside in the dark for a couple of hours, seeing almost nothing. To be fair, on my camera on my phone, I did pick up a vague greenish blob of something, but in real life, you couldn't see anything. Oh well. Having stayed up late to see this non-existent aurora, you can imagine how pleased I was when I heard that we would have to wake up early the next morning to drive through a snowstorm. And the danger didn't end there, as whilst driving, I got a rather concerning text from the Icelandic police telling me that I was in the vicinity of an active volcano and I should be very careful. Eventually though, we reached the small village of Vik, and after failing to do a skid in the car park, I took a seat at the smallest table I could find and had a look around at the breathtaking surroundings. A vast black sand beach with monumental waves, some giant mountains, a deep gorge with an icy river and hidden waterfall, and a cute little, adorable little church on the top of the hill. Come on, this church is kinda cute. Things got even better though, as the next day we set off early yet again to visit a lagoon full of icebergs. I won't lie to you, this was probably one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my life. And it's annoying because my phone camera really doesn't do it justice, to be honest. There was just so much snow, and if you know me, I love snow, it's my favourite weather. It was like a wintry paradise here. There were seals bobbing up and down on the water, a beach with huge chunks of ice washed up all over the place. There was also this cosy cabin which had these adorable fat little birds all sat on the roof. All too soon though, we were driving back around the coast past more mountains and glaciers, all the way back to Vik, where we went to another beach to see some more big waves. The waves this time were so big in fact that when filming, a particularly big one took us all by surprise. In the process of running away, my mum unfortunately fell over and ended up fully dunking herself in the freezing cold water. Oh dear. With disaster almost avoided, we took the rest of the day doing some more sightseeing, bagging a couple more giant waterfalls, at which it was so cold that the mist and spray they gave out turned into huge icicles around them. I think I might have gotten a little bit close to film some of this. But undeterred by now being soaking, as it was getting dark, I took the opportunity to do something extremely adrenaline pumping. What's up guys, it's the 12th member of Dude Perfect here. Today I'm going to be sliding down this death-defying drop. On New Year's Eve, we travelled back to the capital of Reykjavik, and it's safe to say I wasn't quite prepared for just how mental the celebrations would be. What's up guys, it's Jude here. So I'm back in the capital of Reykjavik, That's what's just outside this window right here, and it's New Year's Eve. So supposedly there's supposed to be some really good fireworks or something going on later. You probably can't see behind me, but just about here they've already started. Apparently everyone just grabs fireworks from anywhere they possibly can, and they all just set them off from pretty much every single corner of the street. So yeah, hopefully it'll be pretty good. I'm gonna go and see them now. The next day we couldn't go anywhere because the country was experiencing wind speeds of like 150 miles an hour, so all of the roads were closed. But on the upside, after spending the day in Reykjavik, I think I might have found out why we hadn't seen the Northern Lights yet. They were keeping them all behind this door. A day later, once the wind had died down a bit, we made our way to the Snafel's Nest Peninsula. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. This place is quite remote really, there's not much in the way of people, but what it does have is ridiculous scenery. This is where films like The Secret Life of Walter Mitty were filmed. You might recognise this mountain from Game of Thrones. It's a really cool shape. I think it's called something like the Arrow Mountain in the series, but it's very satisfying to look at. And the main volcano on this peninsula is what the book Journey to the Centre of the Earth is based on. I think you can see why this landscape has inspired fantasy writers, because the scale of everything is just so grand. Again, my phone camera doesn't do the best job at displaying how it was in real life, but believe me when I say it was very majestic. Anyway, at this point it was the second to last night of our trip, and we were kind of losing all hope that we would ever see the Northern Lights. Until this happened. What's up guys, it's Jude here. I'm pretty hyped right now because the Northern Lights are currently actually happening outside. I've got the blinds down, I don't know why. I'm gonna go outside and try and film them. Now, I realise the footage I've captured isn't the highest quality, but in real life it was such a surreal thing to experience. When you see it with your own eyes, it's actually not green, it's kind of a grayscale version of what you're seeing on the camera here. But still, I think it's just the fact that it fills up the whole sky for like 2 hours. It was amazing. I'm so lucky, basically. Anyway, on our last day we saw some horses, which was pretty cool. And we also paid a visit to what I think is probably my favourite waterfall of them all, mostly because the colour of the water at this one is amazing. I almost just want to go swimming in it. It just looks so satisfying. But there we go guys, that was my trip to Iceland. It's one of my favourite countries I've ever been to, and it was really cool. Okay, bye.